There are times in science when staying quiet speaks volumes. This is one of those times. It wasn't an asteroid, a dying star, or a brand galaxy that set off alarms. It was quiet itself. The James Webb Space Telescope, circling Earth from 1,000,000 miles away and looking further into space than any tool we've ever made, kept an eye on a section of space thought to be totally empty. It seemed as a dead zone between galaxies, a blind spot on the cosmic map. But what it spotted ruined that idea. In the quietest area of the cosmos, the telescope saw an unlit shadow unable to reflect light. It was eating it. Then something even stranger took place. That darkness moved slowly on purpose. It was as if it knew we were watching. The telescope's next record forced a team of experts, including astrophysicists, cosmologists, and mathematicians, to leave behind what used to be known as reality. This wasn't a comet, a pulsar, or a black hole. It was something additional, something that thinks, reacts, and maybe remembers. This is the story of what James Webb just found in the deep. An object so scary in how it acts and so strange in its physics that scientists have nervously started to whisper the unthinkable. What if it's not from our universe? Music. It all started during a deep field search near the Erodano supervoid, a big area of space known for its cold spots and weirdly low galaxy numbers. While setting up infrared sensors for a galaxy mapping project, the James Webb Telescope picked up something odd. It was too in shape to be real, but too messy to be fake. Instead of seeing faraway galaxies or gas between stars, the telescope found a complete circle of quiet. No light got away from it. No light bent around it. This wasn't because of gravity. It was more like a break in the universe itself. Imagine dropping ink into water and watching the water disappear. That's what the info showed. An area not just missing matter, but missing what keeps the world together. Early thoughts said it might be a type of black hole we didn't know about before. But the math didn't work out. There were no X-rays, no ripples from gravity, just a cold, dark area of total quiet that didn't make sense. Then over a few days, the object's edge started to change. It wasn't like an object circling something. It was like something taking breaths. Music scientists from many places started checking the light around the oddity. What they learned was more troubling than any black hole or huge explosion of a star. The flickers of messed up light weren't random. They followed a pattern with perfect spaces that matched prime numbers. First 2, then 3, 5, 7, 11. It was like the object wasn't just living. It was sending a message. But who was it for? On top of that, this signal wasn't electricity. It wasn't radio, infrared, gamma, or any other kind of wave we know. It was a change in space itself. The Webb telescope's most powered gyroscopes tracked tiny shifts that happened with each signal. It was like something was pushing on the world. It didn't just break the rules of science. It made fun of them. Mathematicians and physicists looked over the info. They decided these weren't regular flashes. They were signs of on purpose. No object out there acts this way. No quasars, dark matter clumps, or rogue planets do this. The perfection was like surgery. The beat clearly made, and some think it might not be the signal of something living, but something aware. Music. Then what no one expected took place. In a checkup done just 27 days after the first find, the James Webb team saw a move. The object, once seen as not moving, had shifted. It didn't move through space, but through size. It didn't float like a comet or speed up like a ship. It flashed from one spot to another as if jumping across the skies instead of moving through them. It popped up just 0.04 degrees off from where it was before. This number is too small for people to see, but bad for scientists' math. If something can move without a trace, it's not stuck at the speed of light, meaning it's not stuck in time. The only thing that acts like this is in quantum theory, where bits are responding from far away. But this wasn't small. This was a big thing, acting as if the rules of physics were just ideas. When astrophysicists did math, they learned something even scarier. The pattern of its reappearances made a spiral pointing to Earth. By the 4th month, the team stopped questioning if the object was dangerous. They asked if it was thinking. Shapes appeared around the weird thing. They took stable fractal waves that copied biology. It wasn't bones or organs, but like roads in the brain. The longer the telescope stared, the more the shapes changed, fitting the sensors and setting themselves right in real time, almost like it was getting used to being watched. Scientists came up with the term responsive geometry to refer to this act. Some even guessed the object might be a type of antenna, or worse, a building planned to not move but to stay still, waiting. One AI model trained to copy alien pattern learning lost it when given the telescope's info. It froze, looped, and gave back one word in its error log. Recognized. The meaning was clear, but no one spoke it. This isn't a find, it's a response. After getting more info for weeks, the web team saw something strange. Not in the object itself, but in what was around it. Energy in the background started to shift, in contrast to microwave energy, or local energy from stars. This signal synced with the object's beats, but later, as if we looked at an echo. Checking colors proved something cold. The signal had layers that shouldn't be there. Frequencies were set not by random spark, but by nested spaces that reminded people of musical chords. Some call it the song of nothing, but others are not as poetic. A signal like this, they said, is almost not able to be made unless someone made it happen. Not a random star process, but a created pattern. Even worse, the waveform harmonics weren't steady. They reacted a little to Webb's changes. This led to a scary idea. The signal wasn't relaxing. It was talking back. It was watching, measuring, and copying back. The object wasn't just talking. It was listening. In the stress, a group of math people came to look at the numbers of the beats.
And that is when the world changed.
Hidden in the signal was a math number that doesn't show up in space that we know of. The Lemur prime spiral is an order of prime numbers in a spiral that has bothered math people for its weird link to the world. But here it was again, right in the spaces between the changes. Some scientists thought it might be a language, a key, a card, or worse, an identifier. If someone put that code there, it means they know the depths of our world. What happened next made the fear realer. When the order was set in size, it had the look of a double helix. It was like our DNA. Perhaps this was just dumb luck, but when scientists did the numbers, they knew the beat spaces and the signals matched codes used in our biology. Something wasn't just watching. Something knew what it was watching and may have known us first. That is when it all fell quiet. Available web info was delayed. Login info for workstations started deleting and main scientists started leaving work. Press from the groups became less sure and clear. Insiders told that groups like European Space Agency, NASA, Blue Origin, and SpaceX came to meetings. This wasn't because the object was a threat, but that no one was sure it wasn't here already. Ideas began to fly. Is this a probe, a guard, a warning? Finding it when we built the tools to see it was cold. That means it waited until we were good. Perhaps, though, it was gone forever. Deep space probes like Voyager and New Horizons had flown near the place but missed it. So this means perhaps it just showed up. Music. The end, as it does, comes quiet on the 48th day of Webatch, and before the scope went to space, something changed. The object's note was gone. All quiet, but the telescope saw one last picture. Energy not like we've seen before. It was not a shadow or change, but like a floating sign. It was up for 3 frames. Not enough to get the full taste, but AI says it was not random. It was triangles, lines, and circles. Since then, nothing came back. But the info stays, and it might mean that we never found it after that. So do we know what James Webb saw? Was this a cosmic guard? A code for those to see, or just a mistake that we were never to beat? We know that the longer we look to the skies will give back to our stare. We perhaps are the reflection. Is this discovery about space or a conversation? And can we know its ideas if they came in geometry? It might try to join in or give warning. Still, James Webb opened doors, and now we can remake how we see us. Is this for us to remember or have nightmares about? Applause music.